It is time again for my monthly analytics and income report. And this time we're talking about July. Let's go. Forgot my drink. And anytime I talk this much, I have got to have some hydration. Hi, hello, howdy, what is up? My name is Jessica Stansberry and I'm here to help you start, grow, build a business that supports the life you want to live. See, my mission here is that we don't all have that same goal in life. We don't all have the same things we want to do. We all have an ideal life we want to live. And I think personally, being an entrepreneur, running your own business is kind of that key to freedom to allow you to live the life you want to live. So if you want to go like travel in a van 9 months out of the year, or if you want to be able to homeschool your children, or if you want to own a multi-million-dollar company and like that's what you dream of, and whatever you want to be able to do, like whatever the life is that you want to be able to live, I want to help you get there by creating and building a business that like allows you the freedom and allows you the monetary assets, I guess you should say, to build that life. So if you're new here and all of that I just said sounds amazing and you want to know more and you want to learn all the things, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any other videos that I release here on this channel every single week. Now, okay, let's talk about the income report for this month. So we're looking back at July, and July was a very, 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 very big month over here at the Hey Jessica HQ. And there were a lot of reasons July was a really big month, but the biggest one that stands out above them all is that I hired my first full-time employee. How exciting is that, guys? So I have been in business since 2010 and seriously running my business since 2015. And I make that distinction because from 2010 to 2015, I very much so treated my business not like a hobby, but like I just need to make enough money to do X, or I just need to make enough money to do Y. And so I wasn't making very much money in those first 5 years. But since then, since 2015, I really got serious and thought like I can make this like a huge thing that I can do and a massive company I can build, and I can make the money I want to make to sustain the lifestyle I want to live, right? So from 2015 on, I have always used contractors in my business. So I hired my first VA, which if you're not sure stands for virtual assistant. I hired my first VA in 2016, and from there have consistently had a VA on my team from the very beginning, as well as other contractors here and there. I've had Pinterest managers, I've had customer service assistants, I've had graphic designers, I've podcast editors, YouTube editors, all the things, right? And the piece of my business that always felt like it had a hole, you know, like, okay, here's the whole pie and somebody had eaten this piece of the pie, was the part where I needed someone else who understood my vision, and I really needed a project manager and someone who understood where the company was going, but also could do the things it took to get it there and do the tasks that I needed to do. And I had been through about 3 OBMs, which if you're not sure, an OBM stands for Online Business Manager. And I'd been through 3 of them. Some of them I had really great experiences with. Some of them I had really bad experiences with. But I realized through working with OBMs that while I needed that role, I really needed a full-time person in that role, because I needed to have not control over them, but they needed to have more dedicated time for my business. And so when you're working with a contractor, you know, they're working with tons of other clients, right? So sometimes they don't have a ton of time dedicated to your specific business. And I was spending just as much on an OBM who didn't have time for me as I am on a full-time employee. So I hired my first full-time employee. I will pop her picture up here. Meet Laura. Laura has been amazing. We are about, 3 weeks into our working relationship, and she has been, having a full-time employee, and specifically Laura, has been like the best thing I ever did. And it's really allowed me to clear space in my head too of like where I want the business to go and what I want things to look like. So if you've not heard me talk about it, I live in a really small town. And not only am I in a small town, but I'm in like a small secluded town. So I'm like 3 hours from the airport, 2 hours to a Target, like we live in our own little corner of the world here. And it was really important to me from the very beginning when I first started thinking like what my company was going to look like, what, my team was going to look like, how I was going to structure things. It was really important to me that when I started hiring full-time employees, when I started hiring, permanent employees, that they were local, that I hired locally. I totally could have hired the role remotely and could have hired someone not in my local area. But it was really important to me to have someone local for 2 reasons. One, and the most important reason, is that we don't live in the most progressive or high salary area in the world. Like, our area is definitely quite a bit behind in good jobs, in high salaried positions, in good positions. And I really wanted to be able to provide jobs here within my community. It was super important to me. And from the very beginning, I have said that, like, if I'm gonna hire full-time, it's gonna be here locally, because I want to know that, someone was able to stay in the county or chose to stay in the county rather than, move way off or drive an hour away because they could find a good job here. And it's really hard to do that. So that was reason number 1. Reason number 2 was because I wanted someone available if I needed them in person, right? Like, let's say I'm like, oh, you know what? Let's take a day and go take some brand photos. And I don't really, these are not super, I don't need a photographer to come in for this. I want to just like head to town and take some photos. Then, I wanted someone available to be able to do that. I also, if we do anything locally, if we, help with anything or put on any type of events or anything like that, I wanted someone here to be able to help me in that way. So I did hire someone local. Laura is amazing. And that was a really big thing that happened in July. Now, because I just rattled on for 100 years, I'm not gonna go over my funnels and the income they brought in this video, mainly because it didn't really change a lot. I definitely increased my ad spend and increased my profit from both of my funnels, both my ClickUp and digital planner funnels that you've seen in videos in the past. But it's kind of repetitive, honestly, and I'm kind of getting tired of talking about it constantly, so I figure you are too. But I am going to dive into my YouTube analytics and my podcast analytics and show you that. And then we'll circle back around to the funnel analytics in next month's video, just to kind of give us a little bit of a break, but also a little break in like monotony. Oh, I forgot another important thing that happened in July. So in July, we announced that HeyJessica.com was now taking applications for guest writers for the site. So this was one of the big projects I wanted a full-time employee to take charge of. And we literally got everything we needed done in the first week that she worked for me to be able to accept these applications and really streamline this process. So we were able to open up applications and allow people to be guest contributors for HeyJessica.com. And we got so many applications. We filled all of the spots that we're filling right now. And that is super exciting. So in August, about a week after you're watching this video, you'll start to see posts on HeyJessica.com 5 days a week. Some from me, some from Laura, and some from our guest contributors. So that was also really exciting. July was just a really busy month to where I didn't really focus a lot on income growth as much as I did on internal business growth. But August and September are highly focused on income growth. So those will be good months to really look into the income a little more rather than July. So let's just dive in and look at the podcast analytics first. Okay, so here are my podcast analytics. So for the month of July, I had 11,900 downloads on the Grit podcast, and that is about 1,000 less downloads than I had in the month of June. But honestly, the numbers kind of fluctuate by about that much every single month. So I don't worry too much if I go down 1,000 or I go up 3,000 and back down. It really doesn't matter too much to me. It really means, for me, and what I've seen in the past, it really just means that people are commuting less, commuting more, listening in podcast moods, not in podcast moods, that kind of thing. So I will say, as you can see here in August, we already have 2,000 downloads, and it's only the 5th day of August. And you'll see that there's these big spikes already in August. Well, that one was in July, but this one's in August. And what's really interesting about that is that I am doing replays on the podcast in the month of August. And I'm doing like replays of our best episodes so far. But it makes sense, I guess, that more people would want to listen to those. But it's really interesting that that many people are listening to a replay. But it's super exciting because probably my August analytics will be better than July's, and I'll have played old episodes all month. So that seems odd, but also kind of cool at the same time. Okay, so next we're going to hop over to my YouTube analytics. I'm gonna do a little bit of a deeper dive here in these analytics than I normally do, since I'm not showing you the funnel analytics, before we really get into like percentages and all of that. Let's click over to the month of July here in my analytics. Okay, and here you can see, again, the same as what we've seen on previous months. It will tell me if this is more or less than usual. And you can see right here that for the most part, it is more than usual, which is always a good thing. So in July, I had 234,000 views, 15,000 watch time hours, 4,600 subscribers, and I earned $3,700. We can see down here that YouTube has prepared like this what has affected your analytics report. So more views because I published more videos. So I was publishing 2 videos a week in the month of July, and so innately I'm going to get more views from that. Your videos reach more people and convince them to subscribe. So that is really fun. So it says here, keep up the great work. Your channel will reach 90,000 subscriptions faster. At this rate, we can expect you to hit it in just 1 month instead of 2. So I should hit 90,000 subscribers in the month of August. And that is so exciting because that means that we are just a couple of months away, probably, unless something just takes off and blows up, but a couple of months away at this rate from hitting 100,000 subscribers and getting that play button and all the fun things that come along with that. It says my revenue went up because more people saw more ads on your videos. And I will tell you, and I'm gonna do a whole video on this, I swear, I keep saying that, but I really am. I got really strategic with my ad placements on my videos. Up until a few months ago, I was not placing any ads in the middle of my videos. I wasn't even using that middle of video or during video ad spot at all. But a few months ago, I decided that's dumb. And, I fully expect to see ads in the middle of people's videos, and I fully expect that that's okay because they are putting out free content and I can, skip through an ad 3 seconds later, it's fine. So what I did was, not only am I putting ads in the middle of all of my videos from that point when I kind of discovered that on out, so all of my new videos have 1 to 2 ads in the middle of them, but I also went back to my most popular videos that were eligible to put an ad in the middle, which right now that is 10 minutes. The video has to be 10 minutes long to be able to put an ad in the middle, but they are changing that to where it has to be 8 minutes long to put an ad in the middle. And that change might have already happened. I'm not totally sure, but that is changing. So I went back through all of my videos that were eligible, that were that 10-minute long length, and I put ads in the middle of those so that they would earn more money. And you can see that it is working. Now, my top 5 videos in this period are how to add text to iMovie. That sucker's staying. that sucker is like definitely my most popular video to date. Digital planning for beginners, that's my newest one I did back in April, and that one's doing really well. How to get your first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. This is a new video I did in May. It's doing well. How to start a blog in 2020, new video I did in January. It's doing well. And then why you shouldn't hit boost post on Facebook and what to do instead. And that is also an old video. So if you'll remember back to my analytics, when I first started doing this, the top 5 videos back then were all old videos. They were all like 2017, 2018 videos. And one of my goals over the last few months is to get my newer videos ranking higher in this metric, because I don't want just my old videos to be bringing people in, because the content that I talk about on my channel has changed quite a bit throughout the years. So I want my newer videos to be bringing them in as well. Now, there's nothing wrong with my old videos bringing them in. I'm just saying that I wanted to kind of balance that out. And this is really the first month we've seen that happen. I'm gonna click on the revenue tab up here and just kind of look at that a little bit, because we can see at a bigger glance what this looks like. So you'll see here what I made in March, April, May, June, July, and you'll see that, you know, I made the most I've ever made on my YouTube channel in May, and I was really, really close to hitting that in July as well. So that's kind of my marker right now, is staying over that $3,000 mark from my YouTube revenue. And if it drops below that, then I need to, you know, adjust something or figure out what happened. You don't have a ton of control over your YouTube revenue. There are definitely some things you can do to increase it, like I did with the ad spots and things like that, and with putting out more videos that more people see ads on. But each video is going to earn more different amounts of money because of the advertisers that advertise on that video. So you'll see here that my affiliate marketing for beginners video earned me the most money during this period. And I actually did take note and do another affiliate marketing video that is doing really well, and hopefully will join this one in ranking in not very long from now. But essentially, even though how to start a blog in 2020 had more views than this affiliate marketing video, this affiliate marketing video made me more money because the advertisers on that video are paying more money. So that's kind of what it breaks down to. This stat here is brand new, and I wanted to show this to you guys, which is why I clicked over here. So this stat here is your RPM. And if you hover over it, it tells you what it means. Revenue per mille. Is it mil or mille? Basically, it's per thousand though. So we've always had this CPM number, and the CPM is your cost per thousand for like playbacks. So I am earning, or not I am earning, but my video is earning $28.83 on average, my videos across my channel on average this month, for 1,000 views. But that is not all money I make. That is partially YouTube's revenue and partially mine. This RPM number is all the money I make. So it's telling me now, okay, yes, your CPM was $28.83, but you are going to make $15.87 on average for every 1,000 people who view your videos. So that is really cool. And ideally you want that to be up every month rather than down every month. But again, there's not really a lot you can do to control that. So you can see mine is up from previous months, and I'm good with that, but that's also why my revenue was going to be more. Okay, so quickly on reach, you'll see that a lot of the numbers here are down a certain percentage, but honestly, if my subscribers are still going up, my income is still going up or staying the same, and I'm still getting the views around the same as I did in previous months, I don't worry about things going down a terrible amount unless it just starts tanking. So you'll see here that YouTube search was a massive driver of traffic to my channel this month, as well as external, which external is coming in from like my videos being embedded on my website, but also, you know, other places sending people to my videos. So like my Instagram or my Facebook or whatever. Suggested videos, browse features, channel pages, you can see all of that here. Okay, so here's this impression. So 27.4% of the 3 million impressions my videos got, which by the way, an impression is just when your video is served to someone and they have the opportunity to click on it and watch it. So if someone searches for something, or if someone's watching something and yours shows up in suggested or whatever, if your video is like seen by their eyeballs, whether they click it or not, that's an impression. If they click it, that's a view. So you'll see here there are this many views from impressions and this many impressions. So 27.4% of the YouTube of my 3 million impressions were from YouTube recommending my content. So you can see here they were recommending on the watch page and the home page, and that's really good. I'd like to see that notification pop up because that means YouTube is suggesting my content, and there's no better way to grow faster on YouTube than YouTube suggesting your content. So down here we can then see, you know, like what sent the most traffic from my external sources. Was it Pinterest? Was it Google? Was it, you know, what videos got suggested the most? What YouTube search terms sent the most people? All of that good jazz. And then I want to click on audience really quick. So on audience here, you now have this chart. If you remember, this was new a couple months ago. You have this chart that kind of tells you when your people are mostly on YouTube. And, you know, my people are on YouTube during the week, basically from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. almost every day. I don't use that to, well, I would, if I hadn't already decided on a posting time of 10 a.m., I totally would use that to say, okay, well, I need to post in this time frame sometime. But what's more important for your posting time is that it's regular and people learn to count on it. Okay, so this watch time from subscribers, not subscribed 87%, subscribed 12%. Again, that's something I'm trying to drive up, is that I want more and more of my subscribers, of you guys, to watch every video I put out, to really like want to watch everything. But it's okay because hopefully these people coming in that are not subscribed are turning into subscribers. This one's really cool. You can see other videos my audience has watched. So Catherine Manning's video where she did exactly how much money she made from YouTube each month with 200,000, I guess that's 200,000 subscribers. People watched that. Here's one from Sunny. Here's one from Sean and the Think Media team. Here's one from Shelby Church and K Digital Studio. I don't know those bottom two people, but you also have a lot more pages here as well. So Nick Nimmin, Annie, let's see what else we've got. Annie. So a lot of my videos are being watched by the same people who are watching these videos. How can this statistic help you? So, couple of reasons. There is no content on the internet that is purely original, ever. Catherine is not the first person to share how much money that she makes each month on YouTube. You know, this K Digital Studio is not the first person to share how to make a digital planner. Nick Nimmin is not the first person to talk about this, right? So there is no content on the internet that is completely original. Now, I do believe that your content should be original to you and that you have your own take and spin on things so that your viewers want to watch your videos, right? But there's no original content on the internet. There's really not. It all usually stems from something else, or it is, you know, people have the same ideas a lot of times. So a couple ways you can use this stat. And one is, you know, see if there is a video similar to these that you could do, again, with your own spin on them. So if I'm looking at this, I don't have 200,000 subscribers, so I sure as crap can't do how much money I make from YouTube each month with 200,000 subscribers, but I could do one of how much money I make each month from 90,000 subscribers. And I did one several months ago for 50,000 subscribers. And these videos that I do for you every month are basically trying to target those exact same key terms as well. So, okay, what YouTubers don't tell you about starting a channel. All right, so could I do something similar to that? How to get 100 subscribers every day on YouTube, how to make videos your viewers will love. So is there some way I can take a very similar topic and put my own spin on it and give my own advice? Because if they're liking these, they're gonna like mine. The second and probably most important way you can use this stat though, is to see who your people like and try and do collaborations with them. So if they like me and they like Catherine, they like me and they like Sunny, they like me and they like Sean, should we do collaborations? Like I've done collaborations with Sunny, I've done collaborations with Sean. Should we do some collaborations so that they are kind of getting the best of both worlds and we're exposing each other to each other's audience, right? So if you see this stat on your channel, that might be a really great way to utilize it. You can see here age and gender, top countries, subtitles, all of that good jazz. But essentially, the most important things here are that my views went up, my watch time went up, and my revenue went up or, stayed very similarly to where it was before. So here on this chart with my views, you can see that in January, my views kind of spiked a little, went back down in February, and then have continued to stay above this line since March. March was quarantine, guys. Like, people came home. People started watching more videos. People probably lost their jobs and were like, oh my gosh, how do I run a business from home, right? So I saw everybody basically on YouTube saw a spike in March, and I have continued to see that spike. And while it's gone down in June and July because people went back to work and it's the summer from what it was in March, April, May, it's still stayed above what it was before. So while I didn't plan COVID, and it would not have been the thing I would have picked to cause my channel to grow and get more views and things like that, it definitely has worked in my favor. So as you guys know, I like to end these with kind of where the percentage breakdown is with my income. Now, as I always say in every one, I, round up or round down where needed. I'm not going to give you like 21.2%. So if it doesn't come out to exactly 100, that is why. But also something you'll notice in these percentages is that I had courses available again, and I haven't had my courses up and published in a really long time. Well, not a really long time, but several months, because I was revamping a lot of them, redoing sales pages, things like that. But now all of my available courses are listed on my site, and I do have sales regularly from those. So that's a stat you'll notice that was 0 a few months ago and is now a pretty big chunk of what I made this month. So my courses, which includes my ClickUp mini course, which is in a funnel, my YouTube Rockstars course, I have Create, Convert, Grow, which is a course that is on my site. All of those together were about 48% of my income. Then my digital planners, and that is from the funnel, as well as anything that comes in from Etsy, which is very little, and also from my website. It was about 25% of my income. YouTube made up about 23% of my income, and then my affiliates made up about 5% of my income. So really not a lot changed as far as percentages go, except for that a huge chunk of my income this month was from courses, and that was basically non-existent a few months ago. What's really interesting is that I did make more money this month, but it wasn't like astronomically more than a few months ago when I had no courses available. So it's really funny to see like things ebb and flow, and as I make up money in one area, I will tend to cut another area that I don't love to do or that isn't serving my business or you guys well. So it's really fun to watch. And actually, I was never really good at looking at my analytics, looking at my income on a month-to-month basis, and really breaking it down before I started doing these videos. So while they may be helpful and entertaining for you, they're definitely helpful for me too. Okay, so this was much longer than I expected it to be. I honestly thought I'm just gonna talk about my analytics, not talk about my funnels today. This is gonna be a short video, but it is what it is. You needed to know about my new employee. You needed to know about my courses. You needed to see the deep dive into my YouTube analytics. And hopefully it was really, really, really helpful. If you have any questions about the income I make, how I make it, what I do, how you can apply this to your channel or your business, let me know in the comments below so we can chat that out and figure it out together. And until next time, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any other tips and tricks each week from me to help you start, build, and grow the business of your dreams. Bye, y'all.